All right, second time lucky for the Champions League draw, as you probably know by now. The first one had a bit of a hitch. We don't need to get into it too much, but Jules, I think it's safe to say that in many years of watching draws, we don't think I've ever seen this before.
Never never two draws the same day. This is crazy.
All right, let's never speak of this again, and let's move on. I'm sure there's tons of conspiracies out there. You can go and enjoy those on your own time. I'm going to go through this effectively in order. Should we leave the best for last, or shall we start at the top? Let's do it in reverse order, because the best, the one that's you most smiling, Paris Saint-Germain and Lionel Messi taking on the old enemy, Real Madrid, and your former coach, Carletto Ancelotti.
That's right, Gab. I was watching the draw, and there was still a chance for Juve to be drawn with PSG, and I was like, get in. And then when there was no Juve, it was either Liverpool or Real Madrid in the team that left. And then obviously with Inter and Real Madrid, it meant that PSG were the one to face Carlo and Real Madrid and Karim Benzema, Karim the Dream. And you have Real Madrid amongst your favorite. In France, on French TV, they were saying like, oh, PSG are a huge favorite in this tie. The bookies have PSG favorite. I'm with you, Gabby. I don't think this one is an easy one at all. And for me, right now, and it might be very different in February, but right now, Real Madrid are favorite.
Yeah, we always have to put this caveat out there. I say it all the time to be boring. We're reacting to a draw. These teams could all be in a very different place in 2 months' time. Jules, we assume Neymar will be back for this, unless his sister decides to have another birthday, right?
Well, it's a bit touch and go. The club are hoping that Neymar will be back. The funny thing, Gab, would be that before this game is played, Kylian Mbappe might have well signed a pre-contract with Real Madrid, because as of January the 1st, he will be free to sign for whoever he wants from next season, which means that he could well sign his contract or pre-contract with Real Madrid in January and then be ready to face them in February. How funny would that be? Well, not funny.
I hadn't even thought of that, but these are the content and storylines that I'm here for. That would be quite extraordinary. Yeah, not you. Villarreal against Juventus. Two teams that I think it's safe to say are doing far better in Europe than they are domestically. We know Unai Emery has his voodoo magic in knockout competitions. Sir Max Allegri right now, worst league start in 23 years for Juve. It seems to be it's the only thing Allegri has going for him. Do we go with Juve slight favorites at this stage? So we kind of have to, right?
Yeah, we have to. And again, I think this is a good draw for Juve. Villarreal, a good team. We saw that against United. They played them out of the park. Our Trafford, for example, were unlucky to lose. But I think Juve have to be the favorite, even if Villarreal have some good players. We're not convinced by Allegri and Juve at this time of the year, of the season. Again, by February, things might be different. Dybala might be fully fit and really going for it with a new contract. There's a lot of things that can be put in place for Juve, but they will have to play better than what they've done. Even if in Europe they've been decent, let's put it that way. I think they were lucky to finish top of that group ahead of Chelsea, but it's a really good draw for them, a draw that they should see them going through.
And I think from Juve's perspective, just looking at some of the financial imperatives, we've got the January transfer window coming up. Of course, Cristiano sold on the last day of transfer window, not really replaced, no disrespect to Moise Kean. I know they're in financial difficulties, but equally, you look at this and you tell yourself, you know what, if a striker moves a needle for me against Villarreal, maybe in the quarterfinals as well, this could make a lot of sense. Ajax, of course, steamrollered everybody in the group stage. Sebastian Haller, man on fire. And we thought Sod's Law, oh, look, they'll get stuck with somebody unpleasant. But they didn't. I mean, I say it's the nicest possible way to Benfica. I think secretly, Edwin van der Sar went like, yes!
Partying.
What he saw Benfica going out there.
Yeah. I mean, last time they went to Lisbon to play Sporting, they scored 5. I think they scored 9 in 2 games against Sporting. Benfica is a completely different team, have different qualities.
Different manager, different stadium,
different
uniforms, different mascot.
Portugal right now is a good memory for Ajax. This is very, very unbalanced on paper. I think Ajax, huge favorite. They will go through and can get ready for the quarterfinals.
You think Jorge Jesus will still be the Benfica manager by the time
That's a
they
good
play
question, actually. That's a good question. I can't be 100% certain of that.
We've got Bayern taking on Salzburg. It's a part of the Red Bull Empire. They do things a certain way. They play a million miles an hour. They've got all these young kids. Adeyemi, Okafor. Adeyemi, of course, linked to a future at Bayern, possible heir to Robert Lewandowski. Who knows there? They put no limits on how they play. With their youth, I think comes some fragility.
Yeah.
If you're Bayern, you got to believe in yourself. What I find is interesting, though, is what will Nagelsmann have up his sleeve? Because Nagelsmann, of course, was at Leipzig. He was at Hoffenheim before that. He's a Red Bull guy, but he's not really I feel like he's evolved. He's like that 2.0, right? He's not dogmatic in the way some of the previous people who espoused that kind of football were. I wonder what he has up his sleeve, or is he just going to try to out Salzburg?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, even if he was at Leipzig, we're still the same group, as you said. He must know them really well. I'm sure he met Matthias Jassler before. His counterpart on the bench, the Salzburg manager, who's is a bit like a mini Nagelsmann, even the way he dresses, terrible dress sense. But I think they're quite
I think Nagelsmann dresses worse, though.
Well, yeah, but worse than everybody else. But Jassler...
Is Nagelsmann officially the worst dressed man in football
under
40?
I mean, I don't think there's even anyone we could put in front of him to try to have a contest, no?
I love it. I love it that he puts in the effort and is his own man. Obviously, Bayern, highly favorites. But I'll tell you what, Salzburg can spring surprises. My one thing would be is I don't know there's going to be a surprise here because Bayern are going to know everything there is about Salzburg. Salzburg is just down the road from them. Yeah. It's not going to be a surprise, is it?
But great experience for the young kids and for Jassler as well to play against those kind of teams in the group stage. They played against Sevilla, Wolfsburg, and Lille, who are not obviously of the caliber of a Bayern with all the superstars and how big the club is. So it'd be a great experience for them. And again, it's very similar to the Chelsea Lille time. You've got nothing to lose. You go play your game, try to cause them as much problem as you can. If you get knocked out, it's normal. If you create one of the upset of the Champions League history, then good on you. But we know Salzburg are not going to win the Champions League anyway, so go for it.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.